Hey everybody, after 3 weeks on the road, I am back in Posen, and it is good to be home because when I get home after a big trip like this, I get to see all the things that are blooming that definitely were not in bloom when I left. Like this hardy hibiscus here, we only had a couple flowers when I left, and now like the whole crop is blooming and there's lots more flowers coming. They're absolutely gorgeous, and it's hard to believe that a plant that looks like this, it's so tropical looking, can do well here, but it really does. The flowers are huge and gorgeous. I love, there's some of the varieties that have the dark leaves and other ones that have, the bright flowers or the kind of spiral type flower colors on them. Absolutely gorgeous. Its cousin, the Althea or Rosa Sharon, that's also blooming. That's always a beautiful one. It's also great because I can look out just from here and look at all the shrubs. And it's really nice because I'm seeing like a lot of the reblooming Weigelas are reblooming as they're supposed to. So it kind of reminds us that we can get more than just that spring flush off of some of these spring bloomers. Also over by the roses, that Rise Up series has been just fantastic. It's still in bloom. I did a video on it. We have gone through and kind of deadheaded them a little bit. We didn't have to keep them flowering, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna just take you around and show you some of the stuff that's in bloom because I don't know, it's just really great to see how wonderful these plants are looking, how well they're doing, and hey, I know everybody wants to see flowers, so let's take a look. I love seeing the Rudbeckia in bloom. That's also called the Black-Eyed Susan. And so there's a couple different varieties. I'm really always thrilled with this one here. It's called Prairie Glow. And what's unusual about this one is that we get those nice, intense, rich colors on this one, more reds. A lot of the colder zone Rudbeckia don't have this much color on them. They're usually more of the yellows and golds. So we love this one because it can go down to zone 4 very, very comfortably. I also love the Helianthus and the Heliopsis. Those are all in bloom and they're really great bursts of color. And as you can see, the pollinators absolutely love them. Let's see, is my focus working? He's pretty happy right there in that spot. The Allium or ornamental onion, just beautiful flowers on there. These are so easy to grow. They just kind of do their thing. And then like this is in the same family. This is an ornamental chive. And we just left the flower heads on there. They're spent, but we still like how they look. So we just kind of leave them there. These were more of a pink color, whereas the other ones are going to be more of the purple. And the one I really like here is the Medusa because it has this kind of spiraling leaf pattern, so it kind of looks like Medusa's hair, and then it gets the beautiful flowers. So this one's blooming just a little bit later than what we see coming off of this one here, which, what is that one called? This is just the Millenium one, which is another really great variety. You can't beat the Yarrow for something that loves the heat and is easy to grow. Just nice varieties here. We have the yellow, and then this one over here is a nice intense red color. Behind it is the Liatris or Gayfeather. That one just is always really nice because the flowers last a really long time, and so you get to enjoy them for a good bit. These Shasta daisies were blooming when I left. They're still blooming now. I can see where they cut off some of the spent stems, and there's still more buds coming. So this is one that just kind of keeps going. It has a nice long bloom time. Behind that is some Coreopsis. That's the yellow one there. Absolutely beautiful. And that one's been blooming for a really long time as well. And there's lots of new buds coming on that one. Tons of flower power on the Joe Pye weed. This is one that the butterflies absolutely love, and it does like wet soil. So you can see we keep ours in these pots just because we want to make sure that they're getting enough water so that they stay nice and healthy. But just look at how great these are. They get quite large, and these are the dwarf varieties. So you can imagine what the regular sized ones get. Have a look at this anemone, beautiful pure white petals on that. I love the yellow eye on it as well. Just a really nice bloomer. This one here is the variety from Proven Winners called Fall in Love Sweetly, and this one's just getting ready to bloom. Look at how many buds are on this plant. It's almost hard to believe that there could be that many flowers on it. Once this starts, it's going to be just awash in pink. And then over here, there's some campanula blooming. This is a variety of campanula as well. I think normally it grows more upright, but I think here in the greenhouse it's going sideways, but this is how you normally see a lot of the varieties just kind of domed like that. I am very impressed with this phlox we're trying from Proven Winners. It's the Opening Act series, and it's just beautiful. It's been blooming nonstop. It was in bloom when we received it over a month ago. It hasn't really gone out of bloom, and I think the Opening Act series is one of the earlier blooming ones. So you can see we got a lot of spent blooms, but what's really exciting is if we look, lots of new blooms on their way as well. So this one's still not done for the season. It wants to keep going and going and going. This is a new variety that we're trying called Bridges Penstemon. It's a zone 4, so it's really cold hardy, and I love the orange color. We haven't had an orange penstemon before, and the flowers almost look like koi fish hanging off of there. Now, we've got them here in the pots, and they are a little bit droopy in the pots. I think in the landscape, they're going to be a little more upright, but just absolutely stunning. I just really love these. I've got to get some of these in the ground so I can see what they look like in the landscape. The sedums are just starting to bloom. This one's got a beautiful pink start to it, and this is kind of more your traditional autumn fire variety, but this one here, I think it's called Bundle of Joy, and it's a more compact variety, so it gets much more of that kind of muffin type of shape to it, really tight flowers on it, so the whole thing becomes a bloom as it starts to flower. So you can see it's got that nice little pink color coming through, really great. And there's a couple other varieties as well, like Yellow Brick Road over here. The flowers, these are the spent ones here, but then there's more fresh yellow blooms showing. This is more of a ground cover variety. These are some Sempervitum. You can see just we're making sure that we got some trios. So there's 3 different varieties in these packs. So back to the sedums over here. This one here is called Coral Jade, I think. So this one's got a really nice kind of peach color to it. And then down here, this is the Vera Jameson, which is one of those really nice fuchsia kind of hot pink varieties. Just really nice to see the color on these. Oh, this one here is back in black. This one's pretty new. The leaves are really nice and dark, and then the flowers, you can see just unusual coloring in that. I had to stop in here at this dragonwing begonia because it's huge. We just kind of tucked it in here earlier in the season. It's gotten to be, I'd say, at least 4 feet wide, 3 feet tall. This is an annual, but we just kind of ignored it, just gave it water every once in a while, and it's done its thing. We've also got a lot of the hydrangeas kind of brought in. This one, the color on it is absolutely stunning. This is one of the Summer Crush. And this one was treated with some aluminum sulfate, so it's getting more of the purple color, and the camera is not picking up how rich and intense of a color this one has. It's just beautiful. Here we have a couple of annual containers just to show you some varieties. This is some of the Gulliver White Bacopa along with some Angelonia in there. This was the new Dragonwing White Begonia. You can see it's a little bit more of a blush color rather than a pure white, but beautiful flower. Got some Coleus right along there. And then these plants here, both the dark one and the light are both the upside variety of sweet potato vine or Ipomia that we tucked in with some Thunbergia. So that's the lemon appeal and the orange appeal. Gives it just kind of some whimsy in there to add that color to what would normally just be a solid type of foliage plant. I want to show you over here this Crossandra. That's this orange one here. This is one that we tried this year, has beautiful waxy leaves, but once it starts flowering, what I find interesting is the way it flowers. So it started flowering down here, and it just keeps sending up new blooms until it gets all the way up here, and there's more coming. So it's been a nonstop bloomer, and it's just very interesting how that one grows. This container has been absolutely incredible. So this one is one Vermillionaire Firecracker Kufia. Absolutely amazing how big that thing has gotten. We had put it in with Angel Face Angelonia, the blue, and they are just keeping up with each other just fantastically. I just can't believe how big one Kufia has gotten in there. I expect that from the Angelonia, but I don't usually see the Kufia getting this big, and it's been a nonstop bloomer. Hummingbirds love it, completely love it. Some more of the sweet potato vine. You can see that one can climb up a trellis. It can work in a pot. There's some over here that I have to show you. Like this here, this is the Encanto waterfall trailing begonia. So beautiful cascading habit on there. This is one of those containers that's just incredible. So this is the Main Street series of Coleus. So you can see that. There is some of the Color Blaze Watermelon Mini Me in here, so you can see that. So that's just kind of poking through, as is some of the Under the Sea Bonefish, I think it's called. But really it's this Coleus and then this Alocasia that just is absolutely enormous. Just look at the size of those. Really beautiful plants. And this one is sitting here in pretty much full shade and happy as can be. So I'm going to be honest, these large containers that we have out here have gotten a little overgrown. They have been very low maintenance for us, so low maintenance that we've actually neglected them, and they probably could have used a little grooming. I think some of the plants would be looking a little better if we had given them a little more attention, but you know what can we say? I mean, look at the size of that canna, and I'm really impressed with this mango one over here. This is absolutely huge, and we're especially proud of the canna because we had tried growing them before and didn't have the best success. Well, we've tried a couple different things with these, and we really feel like we can get more of these next year and confidently tell you that they're going to get nice and big and grow really well. So that's great to see. And then we have a whole field here of hydrangeas that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to save those for another video because they are worthy of their own segment.